Welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to this week's episode of the weekly HO Scaled newsletter recap for October 27th, 2025. If you're new to the series, this is where we take a look at a variety of product announcements and updates from various HO Scaled manufacturers. As always, before we get started, do me a favor and subscribe if you haven't already. It is completely free, helps me to make a few dollars, so I really appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed as well. Drop me a comment if you're excited about anything we talk about here today, or just want to chat. Do love talking with everybody. And try out that new YouTube hype feature if you have that available as well. We don't have a ton to cover this week, but still some interesting things, so hopefully I can keep this pretty short. Also just getting my voice back after a bit of a rough weekend. So we'll start off this week with Bowser with some new product arrivals that should be in their warehouse by the end of October and shipping out the first week of November. First up are the SD40-2 and -2W variations. Here are all the different versions that are coming. Lots of options for you. Lots of nice details on these models. We've seen some early production samples as well as the decorated samples a few weeks ago as well. Should be arriving fairly soon, so I'm very excited to see these. I would like to grab one of them if I can. Hopefully I can make that work. Would be my first Bowser locomotive. Next up are the N8 Cabooses, or Caboose, coming in hopefully at the end of this month in October as well. Here's a good look at the different versions that are going to be coming. Lots of options for you. Tons of Pensy, of course. And finally, we've got the highway trailers that will be arriving soon. I did not know that Bowser was making these, honestly, slipped through my radar a little bit. But these are just singles. There's no 3-packs, it looks like. But we do have a couple undecorateds at the bottom if you'd like to apply your own road names or favorite trailer companies. Bowser also posted a couple things that I'll just briefly summarize here for you. The C415s as well as the 14-panel hoppers should be arriving sometime in November, late of that month. So look for those. I hope to maybe grab one of the C415s as well. Really like the BN livery on that. And the SW1001s, a little bit of confusion with ordering those. They are only available through dealers and not distributors because they are an English's Model Railroad branded product, just because of the tooling and the way it worked out, because Bowser offers models like that with their name or English's name depending on the owner of the tooling in particular. So get your orders in with a dealer rather than a distributor to help you out with those SW1001s. But that's all we got here from Bowser. Let's move on to ScaleTrains. And moving on over to ScaleTrains, couple order reminders for you. N-Scale GP40s, final call for those. Here's a quick look at those road names and paint schemes, mirroring the HO Scale release that came out earlier this year. Nice video on the recently delivered SD40-2s from Burlington Northern Modeler. You can check out his channel, very good video. And a quick shout out on the CSX YN2 SD40-2s in this most recent run. Some history for you if you're interested. Feel free to pause and take a look. And some of the model details with all the road number specific details called out here. Some of them with ditch lights and others at the bottom here without ditch lights. And here's a full list, all those road names and paint schemes. Fairly limited availability on some of those more unique schemes. The N-Scale versions of those models still in stock if you're interested in grabbing some in N-Scale. ScaleTrains also put out a nice video with the project manager Chris on the Trinity 7500 high cubes. Very nice video talking about matching the LRS GATX Blue, so really cool there. Lots of nice details on those models. Here is a quick shout out on those. Limited availability directly from ScaleTrains. This is the rivet counter line shown. They've also got the operator series with the molded in grab irons this time. Road names and paint schemes here for rivet counter, well as a quantity buy discount. And here's a quick showing of their operator series, same car, mostly just missing the coupler cut levers and just a few additional details that you get with the rivet counter line. Pricing there, same quantity by discount. N-Scale versions estimated to arrive this winter. And S-Scale ACF 40-foot reefers, fairly limited availability on those as well. And final call for pre-orders on the ARI DOTX 112 spiral jacketed tape cars. Very nice versions here. ScaleTrains also put out a good video comparing the different versions of these cars with the detail variations, so I would recommend you check that out as well, just for a good 360 view of those cars. Here's some of the model details. And once again, reminder, Roca Models is making this exact same car. We haven't seen any arrival estimates on that car yet. I was briefly looking to grab some of their fire cars, their fire tankers, actually, as well. They seem to be pretty good models, so I might grab some of those to review. Stay tuned for that if I can make that work. But road names and paint schemes here for the DOT 112 tankers, all the different versions, intermediate and early schemes. Pre-orders due the day this video is going live on the 27th. And in N scale, pre-orders also due on the 27th for their next run of Dash 9s. Some of the different versions shown here, fairly similar to the most recent run of HO scale versions, with just some different road names in the mix for N scale. Some of them called out as hypotypical, especially those Genesee and Wyoming units, just because of different antenna packages. The HO scale versions were called hypotypical because of the incorrect cab grade crossing camera, so a little bit different, but still technically hypotypical in ScaleTrains' view. Here's a full list there of the N scale models. Reminder, the HO scale versions should be arriving this winter. And of course, ScaleTrains will be over at Trainfest, so expect a very long video next week covering all the announcements from this very exciting show. One of the best. We got Trainfest in the fall and then Amherst in the spring. Lots of exciting announcements. 8 upcoming projects and announcements expected from ScaleTrains. And since we don't have anything from BLI this week, Broadway Limited Imports, they are also going to be announcing a new freight car from BLI at the show. Just wanted to include that as well. Definitely stop by the show if you're in the area and you can make that happen. Their road trip is officially almost wrapping up. They will be at a couple more clubs as well. Shown off here after Trainfest. If you're in the area, check them out. And final thing here from ScaleTrains, their SD7s and SD9s will be billing in November. I've got my SP1518 on pre-order, so excited to see that one finally come in. But just a heads up for you, reach out to your dealers in a couple weeks if you haven't heard that come through. But that's all we got here from ScaleTrains. Let's move to Walthers. And next up from Walthers, a couple new items in stock from them. First up in their proto line, the Scale test cars are now in stock. I was pretty intrigued by these a couple months ago when they were announced. I believe they may have arrived a little bit early. I thought they were coming around January, February. But in any case, they are now in stock, so take a look if you're interested in some of those. Full diecast body. Walthers also has a track line. They've got some of their number 5 crossovers in stock if you're interested in grabbing some of those. I've heard some good things in the comments about Walthers track. I don't personally have any yet, but a good option out there for you. In their mainline series, they've got the 73-foot Greenville 7,000 cubic foot wood chip hoppers that are now in stock. Always thought these were pretty neat. I do want to grab some in the future, even in this CSX scheme, which I don't typically model, but I think it looks very nice with the pleated sides like that. Walthers also shouts out other manufacturers, such as BLI here with this gorgeous Bicentennial SD45 for the Erie. Those are now in stock with Broadway Limited, with your dealers, or from Walthers directly. So whichever one makes the most sense for you, go ahead and grab some of those if you're interested in that BLI model. And in N scale, they've got some microtrains boxcars in stock that recently delivered, so check those out if you're interested in N scale. But that's all here for Walthers this week. Let's go check out Athearn. And next up from Athearn, a couple pre-order reminders as well as more models now in stock from them. First up in their Genesis line, both HO and N scale, FGE mechanical reefers available for pre-order through the end of November. I've got a pair of the UP Chilled Express boxcars from my very first YouTube video where I unboxed a giveaway that I won actually. Would eventually like to do a giveaway on this channel. Still working out the details on that, so stay tuned. In the standard Athearn line, we've got RS3s still available for pre-order as well. Same deadline of the end of November. We took a look at all these road names and paint schemes in their most recent Athearn announcements a couple weeks ago. If you're interested in that, please check out that video. Moving on to a couple models now in stock though. In their Genesis line, we've got GATX 20,000 gallon tank cars. I believe these were on their Train Tuesday as well, so check out their YouTube video if you'd like to see a 360 view of these models. Seem pretty good though. Back in the standard Athearn line, we've got Berwick bathtub gondolas. Really cool extended sides on some of those models. A couple of them are available in 3-packs as well, so build out your fleet there. Here is that Train Tuesday was talking about with those 20,000 gallon tank cars. And they did have a meet and greet this past Saturday. Hope everyone that did go had a good time. And of course, they will be at Trainfest as well. So once again, stay tuned for next week's video. I've got my work cut out for me. Should be a really nice video with a lot of cool announcements. But that's all here from Athearn this week. Let's move to Cardinal River Models. And next up from Cardinal River Models, we have some new CAD renders of their 1980s, 1990s era Nickel Plate Road 765, the 284 Berkshire, that they are working on. This version in particular was leading the New River train in the New River Gorge in West Virginia. Lots of nice details on this locomotive that we've seen in other renders. I'm not an expert, honestly, in this locomotive and how it should look, but from what I can see, it looks incredible. I do really like looking at CAD renders like this. Really cool to see companies like Cardinal River Models. Bowser's pretty good about it too, about sharing CAD renders with the community, looking for feedback, taking suggestions on how to make the models as accurate as possible. So always down for that. This model, just like the other Berkshires from Cardinal River Models, will have the adjustable drawbar between the locomotive and tender so that you can adjust how close you like the tender to be based on the curves on your layout. Very nice interior. It's going to be really hard to only buy just one of these. And a little note here, the firebox will actually have a flickering LED effect, which I think is really neat. These will also have the chuffing smoke from the cylinders, which is pretty neat. Nice feature that we've seen on European models, but nothing here on the US-based models. But that's all we got here from Cardinal River Models. Let's finish out with an update from Rapido. And final update this week, courtesy of Rapido, their C36-7s should now be shipping your way or to your dealer. So keep an eye out for a notification from them or from your dealer to grab any of these you may have pre-ordered. They've said they have limited availability, of course, from Rapido directly. So if you must have one, definitely get your order in as soon as you can. But just a short update here from them. I'm sure we'll see even more next week. We saw some nice production samples in some videos that they posted that I won't share here just because they're also on YouTube. So check out those videos. If they post some stills, we'll cover them next week. And I'm sure we'll see even more of their samples and everything from Trainfest next week as well. But that's all I have for you this week. Do hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the voice. It should be back by next week. I definitely will need it. As always, do remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's completely free. You can always change your mind. It helps me make a few dollars. Like the video if you enjoyed as well or just want to help out the algorithm. Drop me a comment if you're excited about anything we talked about, or if you're excited for Trainfest, let me know if you're going, what you're most excited to see. And finally, try out that new YouTube hype feature if you have that available to help get this video out there. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.